My name's Dorothy Collier Best, and I'm producing Return of the Killer Shrews. Well, the project itself has probably been talked about for the last 20 years. When we met Steve Bradshaw in Florida in the early 90s, he was a fan of the film, which had always sort of been a skeleton in the closet of my husband's career. But in the early 90s, we discovered through some different sources that Killer Shrews, the original movie, had really become a cult classic horror movie of the 1959-1960 drive-in horror movie era. So Steve was talking to Jimmy about we should do a sequel. I mean, we've got the original star. It would just be a great thing to do. So that was 20 years ago. So you fade out, and through the years we would talk about it and tease about it. They wrote a couple of different treatments through the years, but really about 2 years ago we said, you know what, it's time. We've got to do a sequel to this film. So really the last 2 years we've been serious about coming up with the sequel.
Okay, I'm Pat Moran. I'm producer and writer of Return of the Killer Shrews. I'm here speaking to you on Shrew Island. Actually, right here is where the first killing happens in our story, where we knock off a PA who is in our film within our film. This story started as first as a joke between Jimmy and my partner Steve Bradshaw, and then we sort of bounced around like, you know, wouldn't it be great to do a sequel to Killer Shrews? And Jimmy said, oh, that's crazy. You know, it was an idea that was crazy talk. And then after a while, we sort of gave it a second thought. And once the seed was planted, it grew and grew until it became this full-blown major Hollywood production here on Shrew Island. Being a producer, I get producer's perks. And this particular perk is that I get to play a real jerk named Wally. He's one of the shrew fodder characters in our movie, and he gets knocked off fairly early. He's a rich jerk who's kind of financing the show within the movie that our intrepid crew is shooting on Shrew Island.